Arkan, Shalom, Shalom, Israel, Shalom to the Torah tribes, Yasharala, giving of course all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashima, Mashah, Malaki, Abashah. That's all praises, honor, and glorification unto the Most High God, Yahweh, in the name of the Lord, began Sunny Abashah. This is Brother Yasharala.
Brother Ahbayah.
Khan, coming back to y'all yet another video of the Spirit Pod, Yahweh, Bahashima, Mashah, Malaki, Abashah. Lord willing, all Israel is having a beautiful, beautiful, blessed Shabbat through the Spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashima, Abashah. As well as I also want to put this plug in for the brother Ahbayah, all right, of WFI Atlanta, mighty brother right here. And as we're about to go through, a brother is born for adversity, and I can say this brother, he's been with me in my temptations, and likewise for himself, I've been with him in his afflictions, and we're about to go into why we need brothers. You know what I'm saying, and how adversity and affliction can even strengthen, right, the relationships of a husband and a wife, or of a man and his brother. You know what I'm saying, and a man of his and his friend. Adversity and temptation and affliction can actually, right, strengthen it, and we can see that, right. So let's go to the book of Proverbs, chapter 17, verse 17, right. Right. It says Proverbs chapter 17, verse 17. It says, a friend loveth at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. So yeah, you might say, oh yeah, brother, yeah, that's my brother right there. That's my brother right there. But have you actually gone through adversity with him? You know what I'm saying? Were you actually there when he was low? Were you actually there when he was literally, right, sleeping on the couch, man? Were you there with him, man? Right? Did you even know about that? Or did you just know about him because he was in a video? Right? So then all of a sudden, because he was breaking something down, oh yeah, that's my brother right there. Right? Hey, yeah, he might be, from the same tribe, might be from the same nation, but remember that word brother actually holds weight, man. You know, yes, every Israelite is my brother, but there's certain brothers that stick closer than others, you know, because guess what? The Lord ultimately has put those certain spirits together, and on a physical level, we've been through affliction, we've been through trials and tribulations together, man, which strengthened it, right? But Khan, you got it, King.
Yeah, me and the brother had a good dialogue just talking about it, man.
Khan,
You're a brother, and you over here, you're not, supporting one another. You're not helping one another. The brother at your brother's at his lowest. You're not helping him, man. You're only there when he's up. When he's down, you're nowhere to be found. You gotta be there through his temptations when he's down, in his adversity, and, down goings, and his uprisings, man. When he's on fire, when he's doing great through the Spirit. Right, this is the book of Luke, chapter 22, and verse. Let me see. Bear with me. I just had it. Bear with me. You can get yours real quick. I did. I just had it.
Okay, Khan. Well, I actually had Cyrac 6.
Yeah, you go ahead and get it.
Okay, Khan. I'm gonna get it. Yeah, Khan. I'm gonna get this real quick.
So I got it. So my bad.
Oh, Khan. Yeah, you got it.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 22, and verse 28. This is Yahusha speaking, and it reads, "Ye are they which have continued with me in my temptations." So Yahusha is speaking to the apostles, man. You are they which have continued with me through my temptations. I mean, the brother was talking about that. These are disciples, these apostles. Those were Yahusha through thick and thin. When things got rough, all hell breaking loose, man. They throwing Yahusha, just all hell just breaking loose. Yahusha just going through pain, through affliction. And John was right there at his feet on the cross, man. He was still right there. They never left his side, even though they scattered, and they all still believed and came back unto him. Who's willing to fight for your brother when all hell break loose at camp? Who's willing to pull up on your brother when he's sick, can't move, about to give up the ghost? He really about to die. He's really about to die, probably, man. If it wasn't visiting him, being a brother, he probably would have died, man. Give up the ghost. You gotta be your brother's keeper in this thing, man. You got that wicked one, Cain, and my brother's keeper. Yeah, we are our brother's keepers, man. We're not like Cain, that wicked one. We have to love one another in word, and like the brother said, and in deed. But I got it, sorry.
Khan, that's right, King. Khan. Yeah, you don't want to just be a friend in name. as the Lord says. There's a friend that's just a friend in name, right? Like I always used to use this example, at school, especially like elementary. Even like for example, like me in elementary, I had a lot of friends. Friends quotations. Quotation marks. I had a lot of friends, but some people were just friend in name. Like I just know them, and because we talked like for one time, like two times, that's my friend now. Like what I'm saying? When you get older, it's not really like that anymore. You know, just because you talk to this brother, or you talk to this man or this woman, two times, doesn't mean that, that woman or that man just automatically became your friend all of a sudden, you know? And that word friend, that word brother really actually holds weight when you really get down deep into it, you know? Because you don't want to just be a friend, like as the Lord says, you don't want to just be a friend in name. And let me get this precept real quick, as a brother quoted. Right, let's go to the book of First John, chapter 3, and verse number 17. It says, "But whoso hath this world's good, and seeth his brother have need, and shut up his bowels of compassion from him, how dwelleth the love of God in him?" So if you have this world's slakia, this world's good, what is that going into this world's good? Meaning you might have money, or you might have certain possessions that typically other brothers or sisters may not have, and you see that your brother have need. If you call this brother your brother and he's in need, you're not doing anything. How are you really his brother then? Because don't brothers help each other out, right? Don't they do that? Don't they defend one another? Don't they actually love one another, right? So it says, "And see if this brother have need, and shut up his bowels of compassion from him." Your bowels of compassion is going into basically, your empathy. You just ignoring your empathy and the sorrow, or not the sorrow, but the pity that you might have for him, right? How dwelleth the love of God in him? My little children, let us not love in word, not in tongue, but in deed and in truth. So indeed, deed meaning action, right? Remember, because the Lord is dealing with the love of by action, you know, not just love in just word, right? Like how the Lord said, you can't just love the word. It's like you can't just love the word, it's like the Lord in just words. Oh, I love the word, the Lord. I love Christ. I love Yahweh Shai. I love the Most High. But you're not showing any works for. What I'm saying. You're not keeping the commandments. You're not fasting. You're not reading. You're not studying. So how do you really love the Lord? Right? It's not just about emotion, it's about what you actually do for them, right? Become.
And there's many examples in the Bible of loving your brother, man. Especially like me, the brother Yasharala was talking about. You have a better bond with someone when you go through adversity. You go to war with somebody, than the people in high school. You think you won't have a good bond with somebody from high school? Y'all just playing around in the bathroom, y'all slap boxing. Then the brother you go to war with, man. That's why we look at these militant people, these people who go to the military. They always know the person they went to war with, man. When they come out, they're happy to see each other. They go out to get drinks. They're always reminiscing, man. Something might break out at a bar, and they get in a fight. They start laughing about it together again, saying it's the old days. They always have each other back. The person from high school, y'all don't even talk anymore. Where is he at? Where is she at? I probably see each other on Instagram. I live in the same neighborhood probably, but y'all don't even talk now because it's not the same. There's no bond there. There's no weight there. Book of Second chapter 21, verse 15, and it reads, "Moreover, the Philistines had yet war again with Israel, and David went down, and his servants with him, and fought against the Philistines, and David waxed faint." So you might have a brother, man. He's waxing faint in battle. He's losing strength. He can't really do nothing, right? Verse 16, "And this be Benob, which was of the sons of the giant, the weight of whose spirit weighed 300 shekels of brass in weight, he being girded with a new sword, thought to have slain David," man. So these, man, it could be demons on a spiritual level. These demons thought to have slain your brother. You see your brother waxing faint through the spirit. He's not reading. He's not doing no videos. The last time you talked to him was 3 months ago. Right? You don't hear nothing about him. You call him up, you FaceTime him. He got no fringes on. He's out at Walmart, but no fringes on. Things of that nature. Now, some people they might just say, "Oh, it's okay, it's okay." We all go through it, but blah. It's nothing. But let's see what this do. Let's see what this brother did, man. Verse 17. But Abishai, the son of Zeruiah, secured him and smote the Philistine and killed him. Then the men of David swore unto him, saying, Thou shalt go no more out with us to battle, that thou quench not the light of Israel. So this man Abishai, one of our forefathers, man, he slain this giant to save David's life. If you see someone on a physical level in war, it's a giant coming to slay one of your brothers, man. A lot of Jake will flee. Oh, that's on him, man. Hey, that's on him. That's not me. And he started dipping off, man. He won't save him. He'll just let him get killed. Like nothing ever happened. And that's on him. He probably sinned. Did he commit adultery with Bathsheba? That's judgment. That's going off, man. Guess what? He was willing to put his life on the line to save his brother. That's what real brothers do, man. I want a brother. A brother is born for adversity, man. Let the brother quoted the precept before. There's a friend that's sticking closer than a brother.
Mhm.
That's what Abishai, Joab, and Asahel did for David. David had a whole hit squad and a whole really brotherhood through the spirit. Let me get one more precept. Because even Yahushua was on that same time. He died for the nation of Israel. Get this real quick. This is John chapter 14 verse Salakia, John 15. This big of John chapter 15 and verse 12, and it reads, This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. So a real brother, a real friend will lay down his life, man. If all hell break loose at camp, and you see people running, and you the one pinned up against the wall, sirens going off, get the helicopter light beaming on you, and everybody just ran. I mean, you know, you gotta evaluate the situation, man. Who's really gonna stick there with you? All hell break loose. You getting beat up at camp. You getting stumped out, by these Edomites, by a group of Edomites, and everybody just flee to the car and dip out. You don't hear from them again. That's not real friends, man. A real brother, whether y'all get beat up together or y'all win, they gonna fight to the death. Comes out, and it is what it is, man. But that's what a real brother gonna do. They willing to suffer with you than to let you suffer by yourself. But
Mhm. Khan, that's right. That's right, King. Khan, I got this precept. Let's go to the book of Second Corinthians, right? All right. Let's go to Second Corinthians. All right. Oh yeah, Khan, chapter 7. Let's go to Second Corinthians chapter 7. All right, praises. In verse 4, right? Hey, I'm sorry, verse 3. It says, I speak not this to condemn you, for I have said before that you are in our hearts to die and live with you. See that? So you see the love that Paul had for the church of Corinth. You see that? He said, "Hey, I'm slut that you are in our hearts to die and live with you." He would die with them, right? And he would live with them. You see that? And sometimes it's even, kind of in a jokingly way, but sometimes, it might even be harder to live with somebody, with all these burdens than to even dive with them. You know what I'm saying? Because when living with them, you have to deal with them. You have to deal with their burdens, and that's what Paul was doing. He was carrying the burdens of the church, and we know that according to Paul, he had to come on to them 3 times, man. You had to write all these letters, write long letters, man, addressing every single thing because you had to bear these burdens, right? Khan, that's real love right there. Verse 4. Great is my boldness of speech toward you. Great is my glorying of you. I am filled with comfort. I am exceeding joyful in all our tribulation. You see that? So he was exceeding joyful in all our tribulation. I know that, we're in this flesh, right? And he understands that too. But we're in this flesh, man. Sometimes it's hard to be happy when you're going through something, right? I can speak that from firsthand experience, man. Pretty sure the brother can say that too. When things not really going your way, kind of like, damn, What's going on, bro? We're going through tribulation. We're going through hell right now. But Paul said he is exceeding joyful in all his tribulation and all their tribulation because they're going through it together. And he understands that that's going to strengthen the bond that they have with each other. Right? For when we were coming to Macedonia, our flesh had no rest, but we were troubled on every side. So they were troubled on every side. Without were fightings, with them were fears. And even those that labor with Paul, guess what? They went through hell together as well, right? And that strengthened their bond together. You know, I believe the brother Paul he labored with Titus, and it says that Salaki. Let me get this real quick, right? Let me see. Let me get this precept. Salaki, right? Second Corinthians, right? Damn. Oh yeah, Khan, right here, Salaki. Right, Second Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 18. I desire Titus, and with him I sent a brother. Did Titus make a gain of you? Walk we not in the same spirit? Walk we not in the same steps? So Paul and Titus walked in the same spirit. You know why? Because they were laboring together. Literally, they were laborers together, right? Fellow soldiers, man. In the tribulation of the Most High, right, which strengthened their relationship together. And we also see that Paul even wrote a own personal letter to Titus. See that? But Khan, you got it, King.
Only this book is up. Like, dude, you gotta watch out for, man. When it gets hard, it's gonna get hard, especially if you go to camp, man. Who just leave? Paul. He went through a lot. He had certain men who was willing to come check up on him. Who kicked it with him, man. Through tribulation. You got some man who just left him in the dust, left him the cares of this world. But this is from 2 Timothy, chapter 4 and verse 10. For demons have forsaken me. So you want to have people who says they're brothers indeed, but they really gonna forsake you when things get tough. You need help. You might be low on bread. You ask for bread. Guess what? He really got it for real, but he don't want to give it to you because you probably doing this something to hurt his feelings. Probably got on him too much or something. I don't know, but he don't want to help you, man. Or let me read it again. For demons have forsaken me, having loved this present world. You might be in a jam. Your car might break down. You ask him, "Can you come pick me up? Aren't you my brother?" Guess we said, "Yeah, I am your brother. I'm out with the wifey right now. Hey, I'll get you tomorrow." He said, "I'll get you tomorrow on the interstate." That's you have to be a brother in word and in deed, man. This
Yeah.
for sick Paul. And Paul, hey man, Paul, let me get this real quick. I'm gonna keep going. For demons have forsaken me, having loved this present world, it is departed unto Thessalonica, Christians to Galatia, Titus unto Dalmatia. Only Luke is with me. You see that? It says only Luke is with me. You might have that one brother, you know, and that one brother who's there for you. He's always been there for you, never left your side, giving you the precepts, helping you out when you waxing faint. He's always there through your tribulations, man. That's a good friend to have. I know the brother says he's going to go to Sirach chapter 6. I don't want to, take anything from that. But he tells you it's hard to find a friend in your prosperity. But guess what? It's easy to find him in adversity. Dang, that's deep. Or what? Hold on. What? Did I say that correctly? It's hard to find a friend. Yeah, it's hard to find a friend in prosperity, but it's easy to find him in adversity. But I think it's hard to find an enemy. It's hard to find an enemy in prosperity, but it's easy to find him in adversity. You will know who your enemy. You won't know who your enemy is in prosperity. Everybody's your so-called friend, but in adversity, guess what? You wouldn't know who your enemies are, man. Those are the same people who's not hitting you up, who don't talk to you, man. Who's not going over scriptures with you. He's not uplifting your spirit to the spirit, man. Right? You might only have like one brother who's calling, checking in on you, who's on point, bringing precepts, getting on you, rebuking you, pulling up on you, man. Right? You gotta watch out for brothers like that, who's pulling up on you, willing to put their stuff on a back burner and check up on you. I'm gonna read it again. Only Luke is with me. Take Mark and bring him with thee, for he is profitable to me for the ministry. You got some brothers who's really profitable to you, man. Who shows that brotherly kindness, who's a real brother indeed in truth, and you want to be around him. You don't want to be around just anybody. Even David, let me get this real quick. Actually, I don't want to jump the gun. Yeah, even David, man, he wasn't hanging out around, certain people. He only hung out with people whom he knew had his back, and he had his back, man. You know, but
Oh, Khan, that's right, King. Khan, I got a precept for that. What you said, Sirach 12:8. All right, Khan, it's a good verse. Sirach 12:8, man. You know, that's another reason why you shouldn't pray for riches. Because riches is just going to give you fake things in this world. You know, the physical riches is just going to give you fake things. Now you might be like, what do you mean? If I get rich, I get everything I want. What you're not going to have is actual real friends. You're not going to have that, man. All right. Because, like how the brother was saying, like before, we was over the phone, we're saying that, people in college, you know what I'm saying? The people that you meet in college might be in the same dorm as you, might be in the same classes as you. You guys are going through hell because you guys are trying to scrap for money, damn poor. All your savings is going down because college is expensive as hell. You trying to work. This and third. You sharing noodles. That's what they do in college, right? Because they're poor, man. But if they weren't, because they're poor and because they're put in that low estate together, together that bond has been strengthened, man. Because they're literally going through adversity together, but they're surviving off each other, and with each other, you know. So the same thing, right? The same thing. So let's go to Sirach chapter 12 and verse number 8. A friend cannot be known in prosperity, an enemy cannot be hidden in adversity. So a friend cannot be known in prosperity. When everything's going well for you, when you have a lot of riches, you don't really know who's your real friends or not, right? Because let's go to Proverbs chapter 19. You're only going to have friends in name. You're going to have people that pull up, right, and say what's up to you, and shake your hand and dab you up just because you have the nice car, and they just want to ride in your car. That's it. They want to drive your car. You're surrounded by all these people saying what's up to you, congratulating you or praising you just because of your riches. That's it. It's not because they actually find interest in talking to you. It's not actually because they want to talk to you, because of the things that you possess and the money that you have, right? That's why there's friends only in word, right? But you really have to go through hell to see your true friends, right? Let's go to Proverbs 19 and verse 4. Wealth maketh many friends, but the poor is separated from his neighbor. So wealth is going to make many friends, but these friends that wealth makes is just fake. Because at a moment's instance, when your wealth is no longer, guess what? They also vanish as well as the mist. They're just gone like that because, they were only with you because you were prospering. And the scriptures talk about that from time and time and time again, right? Because guess what? Solomon, he's seen it. That's why he wrote it in a proverb. Even Solomon, because remember, Solomon had great riches in Israel, even more than all the kings that were before him in his time, as it states. And he had great riches and great wisdom. And the people that he was surrounded around, guess what? We're pretty sure that they weren't all generally, they weren't all genuine true friends for him that would actually die for him. I'm pretty sure, because they were only surrounded by him and loved him even much the more because he had great riches, right? They also loved him for his wisdom, but guess what? Solomon, he had also great riches as well. And he also sees this firsthand account because guess what? He wrote it in the proverb, But Khan, you got it, King. Oh, you're on mute.
kind of go out of block. Proverbs chapter 27 and verse 5. Now, what makes a real brother? What makes a real friend? Let's go back to the classic Leviticus 19. All right, a real friend will keep it real with you, man. Now, you can always tell, what's real, what's genuine, and what's not. It's kind of weird how you always talking to this brother. Y'all always laughing, just laughing, he ha ha. It doesn't feel real, man. Y'all just kind of forcing it. And that other friendship, It's just real. Let me get this real quick though. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 17. And it reads, Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him. So real love is rebuking your neighbor, keeping it straight with him, not giving him a soft kiss with your lips. Oh, it's okay, brethren. Yeah, we all fall, but yeah, the Lord's on your side. Every time he just give you the same precept, right? He just tell you the same thing. It's okay. It's okay. And sometimes, hey, the Lord, you gotta put that fear in him too, man. Saying, brother, you keep doing the same thing, man. What's really going on? Are you going off? Don't you know the Lord, doing this, that, and the third, man. Now, of course, you want to use discernment, but you shouldn't be always kissing your brother on the cheek. With your words, giving him a soft answer. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 27 and verse 5. Open rebuke is better than secret love, man. I'd rather get rebuked than secret love. That's real love right there, rebuking your brother. If he transgress against you, let him know. Instead of holding that in and let it boil, and then he does it again, and you start popping on him, man. Right? Hey, just let him pull him to the side and let him know, hey, man, you did this, that, and the third, blah, 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 blah. If he gets offended, he gets offended. But at the end of the day, a reconciliation going to be made. All praise to the Most High God. Verse 6, faithful, it says, faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful. It's a faithful thing when you get into it with a friend. I may argue. Y'all both raising the voice. The vein on your neck is about to pop out, right? But at the end of the day, y'all both come together and y'all both see that y'all care for one another, man. Because y'all wasn't arguing just to argue. Y'all was arguing because y'all really love each other, man. Like you shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be doing that, this, that, and the third. But it says, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful. And what's the kiss of an enemy? Him telling you it's okay to sin. Him letting you sin, man. It's okay. Yeah, you got the sure mercy to David upon you, man. You can keep going off. The Lord will always forgive you. You're predestinated. That's a kiss of an enemy, man. That Judas a scary kiss. But guess what it
Mm.
says? Open rebuke is better than secret love. Faithful are the wounds of a friend. If you and a friend always get into it, in righteousness, not a toxic relationship, friendship. I'm talking about in righteousness, man. Hey, guess what? That's a real friendship. Because even Yahweh, let's get this real quick, man. Even Yahweh rebuked Peter. Was it out of malice, out of hatred? No, but out of love, man. This book of Matthew, chapter 16, and verse 23, and it reads, I start at verse 22. And it reads, Then Peter took him and began to rebuke him, saying, Be it far from thee, Lord, this shall not be unto thee. Now Peter was going off, but in his spirit, he thought it was righteous. He was sincere. He thought he was sincere, and he tried to pull to Yahweh, try to rebuke him, even though the Lord's perfect. But rebuking the Lord, because Peter had love for the Lord, but not in the right mind at this point. He had love for the Lord, though. He was sincere about it, right? But it reads, verse 23, But he turned and said unto Peter, Get thee behind me, Satan. Thou art an offense unto me, for thou savorest not the things that be of God, but those that be of men. See that? So how should I rebuke him? He didn't say, Well, you're right, you're right. Things in that nature, man. He rebuked him right back. That's you and a friend going right back at it. Your friend might tell you to do this, that, and the third. You tell him, No, I'm not doing that, man. I'm not about to go to sleep. I'm about to do another video. And guess what? It is what it is. That's what real friends are for. That's how real friends are made. Just keeping it real. But
Khan, that is right, King Khan. That's right. That's right. Khan, I also had this precept. Right, let's go to the book of Revelation. Right, Revelation chapter 1 and verse 9. And it reads, right, it says, I, John, who also am your brother and companion in tribulation. Right? So we know, A, that's also what? Showing you that John is talking to Israel, right? Because who is John? John is an Israelite. How can you be John's brother if you're not an Israelite, right? Hey, that's playing upon tables, man, right? But it says what? Who also am your brother and companion in tribulation. So if you're not going through tribulation, you know, And we know that Israel as a whole is going through tribulation. So, and we know that this book is not for you then. You a heathen, you living in the high rises in the mountains, and in Beverly Hills, you living in luxury, and this book's not for you, right? It's not for you, bro, because you're not going through any tribulation. Like for Esau, for example, Esau he's carefree, you know, just hopping in his luxury cars, just driving down the street, just whatever. He's going he's pushing like 170 miles per hour, gets pulled over by the cops. Hey, slow down there. All right. Hey, yeah, whatever. Just pulls off, man. Right. Hey, he's just living carefree. He doesn't care, man. So, hey, this book's not for him. Right. You have to be going through tribulation. You see that? But it says what? Who also am your brother and companion in tribulation. Right. And in the kingdom and patience of Yahweh Shemahashiach was in the isle that is called Patmos for the word of God and for the testimony of Mahashiach Yahweh Shah. So you also understand that John was also going through tribulation, man. John was also going through hell, right? Guess what? He had to be sent to an island by himself, right? Just on the island, and he just waited, right, and receiving revelations, man. He just had to be there, right, man, right? Abandoned. He was away from his family. He was away from his brothers, and he had to write this, man, by himself, right? So John, hey, guess what? He was going through tribulation too, you know. Hey, John also seeing Yahweh being literally crucified and smote upon, spit upon. Hey, that's also tribulation too, because that's our Lord. They had to suffer and watch that, right? They had to watch literally Yahweh get put to death by the so-called white man, right? And when you can't stop it, because if you try to stop it, then you'll be going off, right? So, hey, you can just imagine the type of pain, and the frustration that was going through John's mind. It's going through Peter's mind. It's going through all the 12 apostles' mind, right? Or the 11, rather, right? At that time. Let's go to real quick. Also, John 19 and 25. It says, now there stood by the cross of Yahweh his mother, and his mother's sister, Mary, the wife of Clopas, and Mary Magdalene. When Yahweh therefore saw his mother and the disciple standing by, whom he loved. So who was the disciple whom Yahweh loved? That's talking about John. He said unto his mother, woman, behold thy son. Then saith he to the disciple, behold thy mother. And from that hour that disciple took her unto his own home. You see that? So that's that love and that connection, the affinity that Yahweh had with John. Literally, it's like Yahweh's mother was John's mother, right? So we see that, man. And remember, Yahweh and John, they weren't literally blood brothers, but it's like they basically had the same mother, right? And when Yahweh say, hey, guess what? This is now going to be your mother. You better, hey, that means what? Also taking care of her, right? Because Yahweh is going to be, hey, he's going to be passing up, throwing up the ghost or giving up the ghost. So you had to have someone to look out for his mother. And if you put somebody in charge of looking after your own mother, that better be somebody that you actually trust. So we see that Yahweh trusts John. We see the love and the affinity, like I said, that Yahweh had with John, and say, "Hey, guess what? Behold that, behold thy mother." And John, without a shadow of doubt, he didn't start pouting. Oh, why do I have to take care of Yahweh's mom? I got stuff to do. You know what I'm saying? Hey, he didn't say that. He said, hey, from that hour, that disciple took her onto his own home. See that? Come on, you got it, King.
You don't want to trade out a friend, trade out anything for that friend. That's a real brother. If you find a faithful brother, who can find a faithful brother, man? If you find a faithful brother, a faithful sister, a faithful wife, a faithful husband, you don't want to trade that out for anything in the world, man. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 7 and verse 18. Change not a friend for any good, by no means, neither a faithful brother for the gold of Ophir, man. If you found gold in Ophir, right? Gold, diamond, rubies. JB's ready to sell out for that, man. Hey, Judas Iscariot, he sold out. He sold out his own brother for some shekels, right? But you don't want to be like that, man. If you ever find a faithful brother, a faithful sister, a faithful wife, a faithful husband, guess what? Don't let it go. That's what the Lord's saying. Don't let that old wine go for the new wine, man. I think the Lord said, the old wine is better, or something like that, if I'm not mistaken.
What?
Old wine is better, man. Right? You don't want to let that thing go. You want to always keep that close to you because it's beneficial to you, man. It's beneficial to you. Even with what's called David and Jonathan. That's real brotherly love. No envy, no strife, no madness and folly. But yet they was close as a brother, and they was even from the same tribe, man. Right? Let me go to speak of First Samuel. You had a point, King.
La. Good.
Uh, Let's book of First Samuel, chapter 18, and verse 1, and it reads, "And it came to pass, when he had made an end of speaking unto Saul, that the soul of Jonathan was knit with the soul of David, and Jonathan loved him as his own soul." How many brothers love another brother as his own soul? You wouldn't do your soul no wrong. You wouldn't cut your soul up. You wouldn't harm your own soul. You would do good unto your soul. You feed your soul the right things. You make sure it's on a good diet, spiritually, reading, fasting, things in that nature. In your own flesh, you eating good. You making sure you eat. You're not starving your flesh out for no reason. You're not cutting yourself, man. You're not
Right.
just doing abominable things to your flesh, right? How would you do that to another brother? Would you love another brother, another sister, your husband, your wife as your own soul? You got a lot of people who beat their wife, and their wife beat them up, man. How's that loving your own soul as yourself? You want to just be knocking yourself up in that high cheekbone, just knocking yourself out. Right? That doesn't make any sense. You knock yourself out, you wake back up, and you knock yourself back out again. You won't be doing that, man. You'll be loving yourself. And that's what Jonathan did to David. He was loving David as has his own soul. And Jonathan, he was in king's apparel. He was next in line, man. He was a son of a king. So you best believe that Jonathan was taking care of David because David was poor. That's First Samuel 18 verse 23. David was a poor man. Jonathan was a rich man. Jonathan didn't care about that poor stuff, man. That's a real brother. When he don't care about your looks, he just care about your spirit. All right. This book of First Samuel 18 and verse 2. And Saul took him that day and would let him go no more home to his father's house. Then Jonathan and David made a covenant because he loved him as his own soul, man. Hey, Jonathan loved David so much. They made a promise together, a covenant. And who knows what that covenant is, man? What that promise was. Well, you will always be best friends. Next life after that. That could be the covenant, man. No matter how many times we regenerate, we'll always be each other. We'll always be friends, man. But I don't know. It could be. I promise it could be something, man. Verse 4. And Jonathan stripped himself of the robe that was upon him. Like I said, Jonathan wasn't in no baggy clothes that people wearing now. When you play football as a kid, you got that green stain from playing football on your jeans. Jonathan wasn't wearing that, man. He was wearing nice clothes. And he gave it to David. It says that Jonathan stripped himself of the robe that was upon him and gave it to David and his garments, even to his sword, and to his bow, and to his girdle. You see that? So Saul was showing love, man. He was showing love to David, giving him the shoes off his feet, the clothes off his back, man, his sword, and everything. Would you give your last Bible to another brother who doesn't have one and he's sincere? He's asking you for it. Would you give it to him? Would you give your clothes? You just got it off of Etsy. You just got it made, man. You got a gift. Someone gave a gift to you. That shirt, you really love it. It's your favorite color. It's a good design. It smells fresh. The fringes is rare. You never seen these fringes in your life. It's like red, purple, and I don't know what colors, man. And guess what? Your brother needs it. Would you give that? Would you give it off your back, man? Or would you be like, hey, look, man, I don't have nothing right now. I'm gonna have to. I'll order you one. How about that? I'll order you one. It might come in a month. Hey, he needs it now, man. He got no shirt, right? So, hey, that's what Jonathan did. He was all about action, a friend indeed. He didn't hesitate to do it. A lot of people hesitate to give you money, you know. But that goes back to there's no fear in love. Jonathan didn't have no fear and love toward David. It was all love toward him, man. But come on.
Con, that's right. That's right, man. Let's go to Romans 16 and verse 1. Right? It says, I commend unto you Phoebe, our sister, which is a servant of the church, which is at Caesarea. So basically, Paul said, hey, I commend unto you Phoebe, our sister, right? Hey, you have a lot of brothers and sisters in Israel, right? But just like how we were going into, there's brothers, yes, because every Israelite is our brother, because we come from the same nation. But guess what? Just like how we were going into, when you really look at that word brother, it actually holds weight. It's not just, you know, yeah, that's my brother right there. That this and that, this and that, and third. No, when you actually go into that word, it means a lot, right? It means a lot to be somebody's brother, right? And likewise somebody's sister, right? But it says what? Verse 2, that you receive her in the Lord as becometh saints, and that ye assist her in whatsoever business she have need of you, for she hath been a succour of many, and of myself also. So basically, Paul gave this sister, Phoebe, a shout out because she's been a succor unto the men of the Lord. She helped them, you know, and she was submissive unto them and helped them in all their tribulation, man. That's why Paul gave a little shout out to Phoebe, right? Verse 3, right? Let's keep going. Greet Priscilla and Aquila, my helpers in Mahashiach Yahushua. So Priscilla and Aquila. Priscilla and Aquila, this couple that you read about in the scriptures, they were on fire. And they were always helping Paul out in the apostles with the ministry. And literally, when you read the accounts, they're always together. It's like they're inseparable. You don't really read about just Priscilla just being by themselves, right? Or Aquila just being by themselves, right? Now you always read about Priscilla and Aquila. Priscilla and Aquila, they're always together, right? And this man and the wife, right? And guess what? Even though they were married, they're always together, man. And they were going through things together. They were traveling together, working together, right? So all that, hey, guess what? Strengthened their relationship, right? It says, what? Greet Priscilla and Aquila, my helpers of Mahashiach Yahushua, who have for my life laid down their necks. So it says, who for my life laid down their necks, right? They bowed their neck unto him, man, right? Became a servant and a tribute, right, unto Paul and the apostles, unto whom not only I give thanks, but also all the churches of the Gentiles. Likewise, greet this church that is in their house. Salute my well-beloved Epiphanes, who was the first fruits of Achaia unto Mahashiach. See that? So he's giving shout outs, right, onto the men and these women, right? Because for the sake of the ministry and because of the love that they have for Paul, right? They literally bowed their neck unto him, right? Which is basically going into what being a servant unto him and helping them with whatever they needed, man, right? We might have had cooked for them, sheltered them, made tents, whatever Paul needed, they provided it. See that? Because of that love, right? But Khan, you got the king.
I'm get a precept with about another sister too. Let me see where I'm gonna start. So like, this is with Tobit chapter 2, and I'm gonna get straight to the point. Verse 11, and it reads, "And my wife Anna that takes woman's works to do." Now, yeah, we get on brothers, friends and things of that nature. But what about a husband and a wife? How do you know you have a good husband or a good wife? By their works and their actions. You can't just say, "Yeah, I love you, baby." And guess what? That man is out there on Peachtree at the Views Bars and Grill on a specific time, looking at things he shouldn't be looking at, and just committing adultery in his mind, in his heart, in the flesh. And he goes back home and says, "You are very sweet. I love you." No, he's committed adultery, man, with 3 different women. That's not love, man. Love comes by action. That's why the Lord said, "If you love me, keep my commandments." No, don't just say you love the Lord, you're not keeping his commandments. It has to be action, word and deed. I'm going to keep going. Verse 12. And when she had sent, I'm going to read verse 11 again. And my wife Anna did take some woman works to do, because Tobit was Salakia. Tobit was blind. He had things, squished into his eyes. He couldn't see anymore. So Anna had to be that help me in that pillar of rest, take on some work to help the husband out. Verse 12. And when she had sent them home to the owners, they paid her wages and gave her also besides a kid. And when it was in my house and began to cry, I said unto her, From whence is this a from whence is this kid? Is it not stolen? Render it to the owners, for it is not lawful to eat anything that is stolen. But she replied upon me, It was given for a gift more than the wages. Howbeit I did not believe her, but bade her render it to the owners. And I was abashed at her. But she replied upon me, Where are thy alms and thy righteous deeds? Behold, thou and all thy works are known. And you see that? Hey, Tobit was going through a lot. And Anna, guess what? She stirred up the remembrance of him giving alms, him being on fire, him being righteous, man. She said, Where are thy alms and thy righteous deeds? Getting on him in truth and sincerity and righteousness, man. What you doing? Where your alms? Where your deeds at? Where your righteousness at, man? Um, Behold, thou and all thy works are known. You might start seeing your wife or seeing your husband start being slothful. That's like if you married to the brother Yasharala, you start seeing him being slothful. He's not reading as much, teaching as much, or doing videos and things of that nature. You might say, How come y'all do no videos? Isn't today so and so day? Isn't this when you usually do videos? What's going on? Everybody knows you do videos on this day. And guess what? He started being condemned and conflicted in his mind. Oh, you are right. The next thing you know, you just bring your notebook or you got a precept ruled out. All you got to do is do a video, man. That's what's being your, I guess, brother's keeper, husband keeper, wife keeper, stirring up that spirit right when they start feeling low, uplifting them in the spirit, man. Like he went to Aquila and Priscilla, being there for Paul. Those are real brothers and sisters, man. Being there. I believe there's a quote I saw not that long ago. It says 90% of life is just showing up. It's just showing up. That's 90% of life, just showing up. You might have a banquet. You might have a meeting. You show up, guess what? You get that's just all you have to do is show up and everything else is cool. You just showing up shows you that you really care, man. If you don't show up, now guess what? You got a bad name. Hey, you don't for your friends, guess what? They think evil towards you, man. 90% of life is just showing up and being there for your brothers. But Con, you got it.
Con, that's right, King. That's right. Yep. Got a precept for that too. Let's go to Matthew 25:35. It says, For I was in hunger, and he gave me meat. I was thirsty, and he gave me drink. I was a stranger, and he took me in. Naked, and he clothed me. I was sick, and he visited me. I was in prison, and he came unto me. See that? Hey, you see your brother in prison, and you come and visit him. You know how much he would appreciate that? You know what I'm saying? Hey, a brother gets locked up for preaching a word, let's say. Gets locked up. And you come and visit. And the whole camp comes and visits this brother in prison and starts exhorting him. The phone thing, right? Guys, I don't even know if they still have that or not, right? But the phone thing, hey, start calling out precepts, exhorting them, right? Revelation 2 and 10, this is and that, this is and that, right? Hey, that'll be straight. And that's great love, man. Because you're taking time out of your precious day to go to a prison, to a jail, and to visit your brother, man. Or it says what? Right? It says, I was sick and he visited me. Hey, certain people there, in their hospital, they might have broke their leg or broke their Achilles tendon or something like that. They're injured or they're sick. They might be on their deathbed. And you see, your brothers and your sisters actually visiting you. You know how people they might give them flowers and stuff like that, right? But and just that visit, just that how the brother saying, just showing up, showing that you actually appreciate, or it's lucky that you actually love them, right? By showing up, it shows you the appreciation right there, right? And they actually will appreciate that, right? Because that's love right there, because if you're sick, when you're sick, you don't want to just be by yourself. You just kind of just on your bed, like, I'm sick as hell. And you just by yourself, and it's just 10 times worse. Hey, we knew, damn, we knew, we knew our mothers loved us when we were sick on the bed, and they gave us, drinks. You know what I'm saying? They comforted us, gave us chicken noodle soup, right? They checked our temperature. We knew that our mothers loved us when they did that. We kind of like being sick then. Kind of miss school, get to watch cartoons or get to chill in the bed, and our mother is being so nice to us, right? So it's like, hey, you know, it shows you, right? But guess what? Your mother had to do those things in order to let you know that she actually loved you, right? Because if your mom's just saying, "Oh yeah, I love you, I love you, I love you," but she never fed you, right? She always telling you, "Shut up," right? Do your homework, but never showed you how to do your homework, right? She's always commanding you to do certain things, but never showing you love. How would you know that she loved you, man? Right? So it's also, those deeds that actually show that love, right? And that's what the Lord is going into. For I was in hunger and he gave me meat. That's the action right there, man. It's not like, oh, you hungry? Oh, okay. Why don't you go eat something? Hey, oh, what the hell? Why don't you give me some food then, man? Right? That's your problem. I'm gonna go over here and go eat something, right? Hey, bro, hey, come on now. Right? The Lord said, I was hungry and he gave me meat. Right? I was thirsty and he gave me drink, and I was a stranger and he took me in. All these things are actions. And we can do this on a physical level, but we also know that we can also do that on a spiritual level as well. Come and Salaki. Shalom, shalom, Judamanya. Come, my new brother. Right, come.
So, kind of got a precept to link up with that too, because even Abraham did that, man. He showed up for his nephew. This is book of Genesis, chapter 14, and verse 12. And they took Lot, Abram's brother's son, who dwelt in Sodom, and his goods, and departed. So they took Abram's nephew, man. They took him captive, right? Let's see what Abraham did. Did he just give up, start pulling out his beard, pulling out his hair, and said, it is what it is, and things of that nature? No, let's see if he showed up. This is Genesis 14 and verse 14. And when Abram heard that his brother was taken captive, notice how it said his brother, but Lot is his nephew. Why was
Mm,
he brother? Because guess what? They treated each other as brothers, man. Lot was always there for Abraham. Abraham was always there for Lot. It says when Abram heard that his brother was taken captive, he armed his trained servants, born in his own house, 318, and pursued them unto Dan. That's what a real brother do, man. He gets up, he do what he got to do. He'll get the job done and get you right back. Whether it be you were spiritually attacked, you spiritually taken captive, like it says in 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 26. Satan trying to take you captive, and he guess what? Now he giving you exhortation. He gets up at 3 a.m. and pull up on you, man, in the middle of the night. And he exhorts you in the flesh. He might pull up on you in the daytime and go out to eat. You'll just kick it together. He does something, man, to take you out from like captivity and make you free again. I'm gonna jump down to I'm gonna jump down to I keep going. And divided himself again, verse 15, and divided himself again against them, he and his servants by night, and smote them and pursued them unto Hobah, which is on the left hand of Damascus. And he brought back all the goods, and also brought again his brother Lot and his goods, and the woman also, and the people. You see that? So hey, Abraham, he went and showed out and got his brother back, his nephew back, because he
mm,
had love for his brother. If you got a phone call in the middle of the night saying, I need help, I'm broken down, an hour away, 2 hours away, would you get up? You're tired, got work in the morning. Would you get up and drive where he's at to go help him out? And it's 2 hours away. You go to work at, let's say 8. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. You wake up, you get there around 5:30. You get back around what, 7 something. I mean, you can't even go back to sleep. You gotta go straight to work. And we work 12 hours, man. You go in at 8, you get off at 8 p.m. A lot of people be like, hey, look, man, I got work in the morning. I'll just call you an Uber, I'll call you a Lyft. Things of that nature. And it is what it is, you know? Hey, man, Abraham, he didn't have Uber and Lyft. He didn't have all these different things. He got up, he took his trained servants with him, and he had to handle that business because he had love for his brother. And we have to do the same. We have to have unfeigned love to our brothers and sisters, man. Yeah, we slip. Yeah, we can show more love. But at the end of the day, we gotta be like our forefathers, especially Yahweh, the righteous, and keep showing love to one another, man. Let me give one more precept. That's what the Lord said. Actually, I'll get it, man. I want to closing precept, but I'm gonna still get it though.
Um,
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 13, bear with me, verse 1. So I'll get bear with me. Come. Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 1. And it reads, Let brotherly it's like let brotherly love continue. You know? You have to let brotherly love
yeah,
continue. Yeah, I could have just said that, but let brotherly love continue, man. And that's it. You gotta let it continue. Your brother's taken captive spiritually and physically. Yeah, hey, love your brother and help him out. That's what a real brother do. You know? But come, you got it.
that's right. That's right, man. Kind of got this precept real quick in Romans 15 and 1. It says, "We then that are strong ought to bear the infirmities of the weak and not to please ourselves." You see that? That's what that truth. That's what this truth is about as well, and not to please ourselves. See that? This truth, you're going to go through a lot of uncomfortable, situations, a lot of uncomfortable, events or things that uh, uh, um, things you got to go through, man. The truth is uncomfortable, right? You're gonna have to get out of your comfort zone. Might have to, hey, do overtime camps. Your knees might hurt, back might hurt. Hey, it's uncomfortable. Standing out there for hours upon end is definitely not comfortable, man. Right? A couple hours after camp, you kind of moving to and from like this, right? Why is that? You see brothers just kind of move like this, kind of walking around like this, bro. You know, why is that? Or they kind of leaning on the staff like this, right? Because, hey, we're going through it, bro, in the flesh. That's why we're going through it. So, in this truth, it's not about pleasing ourselves, it's about pleasing the Most High. And we understand that if you're waxing stronger and stronger in the spirit, it's you got to bear the infirmities of the weak. You see that? So you being more stronger now, guess what? You got a greater responsibility now. Bear the infirmities of the weak because you're strong enough. You can do it, right? So hey, we got to be bearing the infirmities of the weak, right? It says what? Verse 2: Let every one of us please his neighbor for his good to edification. For even Mahashiach please not himself, as it is written, the reproaches of them that reproach thee fell on me. You see that? So even Mahashiach didn't even please himself, man. He was walking on the earth as a servant. He was walking on the earth, right, to literally heal others, not please himself. Yahweh Shai, he wasn't walking around, glorifying himself, getting all the women, what I'm saying, walking in the fashion, the new clothing, what I'm saying, or the Air Jerusalems. Hey, walking in the Air Jerusalems. Right? Hey, that's not why Yahweh Shai came on the earth. He didn't even please himself, man. He was bearing the infirmities of the weak and healing them and teaching them, right? So the same thing for us, and that's that great love right there, self-sacrifice, right? You're literally sacrificing yourself for others, and guess what? And the Lord said, "There's no greater love than that a man laid down his life for his friends." And that's not just literally just jumping in front of a bullet, right? Somebody shoots a gun, jump in front of the bullet, like in slow mo, and you get hit, right? And the brother's like, "No, no, hey, stay with me," and it's a whole movie scene, bro. That's not the only thing that the Lord is talking about. You actually laying down your life for the brethren. Is guess what? You studying hours upon end. You're sacrificing sleep, man. You need sleep. If you don't sleep, you're gonna die. You're gonna go crazy, right? So, hey, you're sacrificing your health. You're literally sacrificing your time. You could be doing other stuff, but no, you're sacrificing it to teach this brother. You're sacrificing your money because gas is high as hell. But just to go the extra hour to pick up your brother so you guys can go to camps together, you know. Hey, that's a lot of self-sacrifice, but that shows you that great love that you have for your nation, for your people, and most importantly for the Most High. Because you're saying it's not about me, it's about this greater picture. It's about the Most High, it's about others, right? And when you understand that, then therefore you're going to have that great love. When you understand that it's not just about yourself, you know, you're not the grand scheme of things. Who are we, man? Hey, this movie's not just about us, right? The last time I checked, we're all characters and all players in this movie, right? So,
That's really it. You got it.
Con. So yeah, we did say we're going to go about 60 minutes for an hour, or an hour. So with that, with this, we can bring out closing precepts.
I'm gonna get this precept again. So okay. Hebrews, Hebrews 13, verse 1. Let brotherly love continue. So we gotta let the brotherly love continue. And sisterly love, the sisterhood, brotherhood, let it continue. Because we all we got. If it's not for brotherhood, Israelite, who your people is, who won't have nothing. Esau come up with something called divide and conquer. That's why they come up with all these different religions. They come up with all these different gangs because they want to set us against each other. Because they know if we come together, guess what? It's OV. It's over. It's a wrap. That's why the world's crumbling as we speak because we're coming together. The more we come together, the more this world crumbles. Again, the Lord said the kingdom of heaven doesn't come by observation, but the kingdom of heaven is within us. You know, so verse 2. That's it on that.
Con, that's right. That's right. Con, I got this one. Ephesians. All right. Yeah. Con, I'm gonna bring this one up. Ephesians chapter 4 and verse number 31. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice. So we want to put all that stuff aside, man. Right, when we're dealing with our brothers, we don't want to be bitter towards them, and likewise our wives. You want to be bitter towards your wife, man. You want to be showing wrath in your household and being as a lion. You coming into the house, bringing that wrathful spirit and that spirit of anger, man. Now there's a time and a place for everything. Out there is time to be a lion. Inside your house is not time to be so, man. It's time to be that leader, right? It's time to be that leader and that king, and that Lord that your family can look up to. Not so that they can fear you, right? And literally when you walk into the room, they kind of just like like that, being frantic. Nah, you want to actually come in that loving spirit, just like how the Lord came with, right? It says what? With all malice, and be ye kind one to another. So we want to be kind to our brothers, man. Sometimes, yeah, we got to get on each other's necks because that's the only way we're going to grow, right? But we also want to be kind as well, right? Because no brother wants to call up a brother and he's just insulting him the whole time, right? Hey, brother, you gotta read, man. Hey, this and that, man. Right? You weak, man. You weak. Like, hey, no brother really wants that kind of friend, right? Hey, you weak, man. You haven't read. Hey, guess what? I read like 10 chapters, man. You can't even read. You can't even read 5. Hey, guess so what? You're tired. You're weak, man. And now that's just gonna put you down, right? That's just gonna put you down. So, for as much as we have to get on each other's heads in these last days, as we see the day approaching, as the Lord says in Hebrews chapter 3, we got to press toward that mark. And as the Lord talks about in the book of Philippians, chapter 3 and verse 14, right? We got to press toward that mark. And even in a physical level, I was on the track team. Guess what? We had to push each other at the workouts. There was times when we wanted to quit, man, so badly. I was done. I was like, I'm done, man. But we had to exhort one another. Say, hey, guess what? You want that 4-minute mile? You want this mile? Hey, you want this mile time, bro? We have to keep going. We got to stick together. And though it hurt, guess what? We see the fruit of our labor because we all got we all got our goals essentially, right? Through the spirit of the Lord, right? So much more in this truth. Got to apply that same logic. And it says, "Be kind one to another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as the Most High for Mahashiach's sake have forgiven you." So you have to also understand that for what measure you meet, it shall be measured unto you again. Right? That's what the Lord said. So if you want to walk as Yahushua, guess what? Yahushua wasn't walking around trying to be the most mightiest Israelite. He was walking in humbleness, humility, and love for his people and his nation. And he never put himself first. He always put others first. You know. So we pray that we have that same spirit as Yahweh in these last days, man. Right. So with that, all praises to Yahweh Shema Masha, Yahweh. Lord willing, this is edifying. Right. This is Brother Yasharala.
Brother Ahbayah.
Khan coming back, showing yet another video to the Spirit of Hadi Yahweh. Shema Masha, Yahweh. As always, the water for tuning in. Lord willing, this is edifying. Right. Kwam Yasharala. Shalom.